Hi, I'm Jason Bradley from BodyWorx Physio, here doing functional strengthening programs from our Cycling Injury Prevention Ebook. So here's grade 2. Once again, we've got two workouts, workout A and workout B. What you should have done is made sure you're confident with level 1, so grade 1 of the exercise program, before you move on to grade 2. As I said, you should have had any injuries cleared by your physio or GP to make sure you're safe to do these exercise programs. So our first exercise with this is an air squat. So we're going to keep the knees shoulder width apart, facing straight up, nice and tall, hands out in the front to make sure we have even weight distribution, coming down to 90 degrees. Coming from the side, you can see that my chest is nice and upright and my bottom's going back. So if we had a chair there, it's like you're trying to sit your bottom back on a chair. We don't want to see you coming forward into your squat because this loads up the front of the knees too much. So really make sure knees stay equal width apart, they're not ducking in as you squat, and you're putting your bottom back, so keeping the weight down through the heels. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is we do our push-up again. This time with our push-up though, we want to get more reps out of it. So if you have been doing it in level 1, try and come up to your knees if you've been on your toes if you've been on your knees, or try and increase the amount of reps that you're doing in each set. So if you've been doing 8 reps before, try and bump it up to 10 or 12, or if you've been doing, say, 15 on your knees, pop it up to your toes and do 5 or 6. So we really want to try and increase that strength you've got going there in your push-ups. Next up, we've got our next exercise is the bridge. So we've done the bridge in level 1 and also in the anterior knee pain section. What we want to do is advance that exercise to make it a little bit more difficult. So once again, laying down, belly button comes down towards the spine, squeeze you on through the glutes and come out. From here, we want to keep our hips level and extend one leg at a time. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Now when you're doing this, we once again want to feel it in the glutes. We don't want to get any cramps in the hamstrings. Our next exercise is the pointer. So we're going to look at advancing that once again as well. So from our pointer, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tummy on, extending opposite arm to leg out. From here, we then take the arm and leg out on a slight angle to the side. Back still stays nice and still, holding nice and firm, back in and down, and then switch to the other side. Arm and leg out, taking it off on an angle, hold, back in and down. The next exercise we're going to do is a TheraBand press. Once again, you can use a TheraBand or a cable for this exercise, depending on what equipment you've got available around. TheraBands, as I said, are just a nice, easy and versatile piece of equipment. So you'd have this tied onto something behind you. So it's tied in here. And you're going to press forward with it. So we're imagining I'm holding onto my TheraBand here. Split stance, usually the same leg as the arm you're using goes backwards. Gently drawing the belly button down towards the spine. And we're going to press forward, sort of like a push-up movement, but while we're in standing. This helps to target our core and strengthen up our core as well as our chest and the front of our shoulder. Keeping the hips nice and level, nice and still when you're doing that exercise. Our next exercise to advance our core control is our bent knee lift, which we've done in previous levels. Laying down, gently drawing the belly button down towards the spine, lifting one leg up. Now to advance that, we're going to extend the leg out and back in and down. Same on the other side, out and back in. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. So that's workout A. Next up we have workout B. So for workout B, we're once again advancing some of the exercises that we've done in grade 1. The first one we're advancing is our step up. What we're doing is we're adding either height, so make it a little bit of a higher step, or we're adding some weight. So in this case, I've just got a 2.5 kilo plate weight that I'm just going to hold to my chest while I'm doing this exercise. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. As with our squats, we want that when we step up, our knee doesn't duck inwards and we're not losing control through our hips. So everything stays nice and controlled throughout the entire movement. Our next exercise is Russian twists. Once again, you can use a plate weight with this, or you can use a medicine ball if you have one, or even a basketball or soccer ball, just something to hold in your hands. We're going to gently come up into a little bit of a sit-up and then twist to each side. Gently activating through the tummy, so you're activating it through this time. If you have had back injuries in the past, you may want to skip this exercise because it can be a little bit advanced on back injuries. You may want to have a chat with your physio or GP about some other options or personal trainer that you can substitute in for that exercise. Our next exercise is the hover, which we covered in the last grade. Once again with the hover, knees or toes, but what we want to look at doing now is where we held it for 30 seconds in grade 1, we're now going to try and hold it for 60 seconds with good control. As we said, we don't want to see harbour bridges or bananas where our hips are sinking down towards the ground. Nice and flat, nice and controlled all the way through. Don't be surprised if you get a bit of shaking with that. That's quite a normal thing to have happen. The next one we're going to do is similar to the TheraBand press, is we're going to do a TheraBand row. So we would have our TheraBand or cable once again connected onto a machine or onto the wall. Make sure if you tied it around a doorknob or a handle in your home that it's not going to fly off and hit you. And then once it's connected, same leg as the arm goes back, belly button gently drawn in, we're going to pull down to our side. So we're using that TheraBand to resist that movement. Okay, keeping the hips nice and still, chest up nice and tall as we pull the TheraBand down back towards our body. Our last exercise in this level is a calf raise. Now there's a few different levels that we can start with this. We can either start from the ground and just coming up, or we can advance it with the use of a step. So you can do this on any step at home, coming down so your heels go down below 90 degrees and then coming back up. Down and back up. Once again, it's important to follow the rep and set recommendations that are in the Cycling Injury Prevention Ebook. Download that and have a look if you haven't already.
It's done for that one.